Hey everyone, I'm going to do a very quick Top Goon X tutorial for you guys, just to try and break it down a little bit easier, slower, for those of you that didn't fully understand the other videos. Okay, um, Top Goon X isn't perfect every time, but when you get a perfect signal, those are really good. Those play out very well. All right. So obviously, Fibonacci tool is our biggest tool with Top Goon X, and we can use other forms of technical analysis as well. Okay, like this trend breakdown here, or sorry, breakout here. After Top Goon X is given the signal, we have a trend breakout, which means that we have good confirmation with technical analysis and with Top Goon X, because what Top Goon X does is it signals us of potential trend reversals on whatever time frame we're on. Okay, so this is the 1 hour chart. So this was saying that we have a potential 1 hour trend reversal, and you can see here how that worked out great. So it actually signaled a trend reversal bearish here, and then a bullish trend reversal here. All right, and you can see how well that worked out. All right, so let's zoom back in. Fibonacci is going to be obviously our most used tool as far as the rules go. And for this Fibonacci, you want to make sure that you go to your settings. Okay, you can double click on this, maybe. Okay, we're going to right click on it and go to settings. And then you want to make sure that you add in your 1.337, 0.786, and 0.236 if those aren't already in there. Because those are the most important fib levels with Top Goon X. Okay, so ideally, in a perfect world, and again, not all the signals are 110% perfect, but when you do find a perfect one, those are your good ones to go in on, especially. Okay, if you're a little uncertain of the signal, scrap it. There's plenty of 1 minute signals, and there's going to be different signals on different time frames. But anyway, so ideally, in a perfect world, you're going to get this impulse up, which is going to signal a trend reversal with this buy approaching. And when you get that signal, you expect a dip. All right. Now, ideally, we would see a dip right here where the signal is given. We would go straight down to the 786 fib and then go up to the 236 and hopefully break that and continue up. Okay, that would be a perfect world. Again, it's not always perfect, but we have this signal here and you're waiting for a dip anyway. So you're not concerned if it keeps going up, really. All right, you're just waiting for this dip. Well, I'm going to draw up to the top of this impulse here now then. Okay, so from impulse to impulse, you could go up to here too. It's not really going to change much since we closed below there. I just went from here to here. And you can see here that we have a nice retest of our 0.786 fib with just one close below and a break back above, and this would be our technical buy zone. Okay, and I always highlight this just to make it easier to see for you guys, and if I'm trading, it's just a nice visual for me as well. So I like to highlight these zones. So also I can say, okay, this is a zone and it might not be perfect, right? We might touch a little bit above this level. We might go just a little bit below. But you can see here, we have this impulse up, a buy approaching signal, and this took many hours. So you people who are, at work during the day or sleeping at night, when you get these alerts, this 1 hour signal, this 1 hour alert, you would have had plenty of time to set some, parameters here. All right. And then stop loss is a little iffy depending on price action, but usually below the 0.886 Fibonacci level is a decent gauge for a stop loss. Okay. Now, obviously, sometimes we can get these wicks and things, but as far as a manual stop loss, if you get two closes below here, that's usually where I would get out anyway. So, look at that signal. It worked out perfectly. And then next, so what do we do next, right? Well, next we would want to see a retest of the 0.236 Fibonacci, and we're going to highlight that here. Okay, and I'm going to draw this over so you can see it, 0.236. All right, so when you get a nice support hold at the 0.786 fib, all right, you expect a test of the 0.236 fib. And people ask me hit rates and things like that. I don't really have like a set hit rate or anything, but when you get this nice hold like this on whatever time frame, it's very likely that you're going to get some sort of move up to the 0.236. Okay, it's really likely that that will happen as long as this holds well after the signal. Okay, that's the only really indication I can give of like a high probability of happening. But then once you flip so this would be like my first target. But then once I flip this as support, I would actually say, okay, this is full trend reversal confirmation. We should go a lot higher. And you see here, we went much higher, and this signal and Top Goon X itself showed a really nice uptrend this whole way until we got up here. So at this point, you could start trailing. At this point above the 0.236 is when I start just trailing a stop loss. Okay, because I don't know how high this trend will go necessarily, and so I can just start trailing a stop loss here, and I would hope that at some point Top Goon X will give me a sell signal, and then if I played just buy to sell signal, that's a really nice, from the buy signal at 539 to a sell signal at 650, that's a really nice swing trade there. Okay, this will work on all time frames, you guys. The 1 minute chart might be a little bit sloppier than a 1 hour chart, okay? A lot can happen on a 1 minute chart. Weekends and times where trading volume is low, you can have a lot of weird stuff happening on low time frames. So it's best to use other forms of TA to confirm this. But as far as when you get a very clean signal like that on Top Goon X, those are pretty much your big money makers, and it's just the opposite effect for a short. Okay, so if you were looking for a short, you would literally just draw the opposite. So when we get this signal here, okay, basically what I would look for is we get this sell alert. So I take my Fibonacci from the top of this move to the bottom, and this is picture perfect because as we get this alert, we bounce, which is the opposite of what we wanted to see with the buy signal, right? And then so my short target would be the 0.786 fib. Okay, so I like to draw that. And bam, perfect. Okay, so we got a touch to the 0.786 fib, just right below it. Then I would draw my likely target to reach. Okay, because remember when the 0.786 fib holds, the 0.236 fib is very likely to reach. And you could see here we went from 620 to 580. Perfect trade by the signal. And if the 0.236 fib breaks down, then you obviously go much lower, which we did here eventually. And Top Goon X kind of played this whole trend out. So I hope you guys found this helpful. Always feel free to ask questions. I'll continue to update videos and things like that as I see fitting. And I'll continue to look for more alerts and pairs to add as well. We did add about 4 or 5 this month. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys being a part of this. I love Top Goon X, and I hope that you guys are finding success with it as well. And I hope you guys have a great day.